On childcare, we are staring down a childcare cliff. We are looking at estimates of 25% of childcare centers closing and rates going up at an average of $50 per child per week. And looking at history, we know that losing access to childcare disproportionately affects women. Wisconsin women deserve better. I have heard from constituents across my district deep concern as they stare down that childcare cliff. The warnings are that there is no coming back. Childcare counts funding is important because once we're off the cliff, it's going to be very hard, maybe impossible, to rebuild childcare infrastructure. We know that childcare centers rely on this funding to pay their employees a livable wage, to staff the second shift, to staff Saturdays, all these things making childcare possible for a diverse workforce of people who work at various times of day on various days of the week. If they have to make cuts, as I've heard from my district, they're concerned they're going to have to cut Saturdays and second shift. I've heard, not only from the childcare centers, I've heard from the parents, and here are some of their voices. This isn't a liberal versus conservative issue. It affects everyone. A constituent from West Allis said yesterday when I called her after I received her letter, an increase from $600 to $700 a week for 2 children, that's an increase from $2,400 to $2,800 a month. That's huge for West Allis and Wauwatosa families. And when I look at your top earners tax plan, I see you giving millions to millionaires. Meanwhile, other families are working hard and struggling to pay for childcare. And here's the thing. With Governor Evers' proposed budget, families like this would have had a 10% tax credit and zero increase to the $5,000, and no $5,000 increase to their childcare bill. But not in your budget. You gave millions to millionaires and left working families to face increased costs. More voices. Childcare funding affects everyone. Why not invest in something that touches so many facets of life? Childcare counts is important because it provides mothers the opportunity to go to work. It also provides toddlers the necessary learning techniques and tools to be successful in elementary school. The high cost of childcare has forced so many mothers out of the workforce. One of the childcare centers serving people in my district said their families are mostly low income and can't afford the likely $50 a week increase per child. And while I'm very supportive of making sure people who make less money are included in tax cuts, I am unclear on how your new $30 a year tax cut helps a low-income family with a childcare bill suddenly $2,500 more a year, or the inability to work because they can't afford to, or the childcare center closes and they can't find another spot for their kid, which can knock them out of the workforce. Instead of giving millions to millionaires, you could be funding childcare counts and ensuring Wisconsinites the ability to work. Another mom on the $50 increase, I would have to pick between childcare and food or decrease my hours at work. Another person said if costs go up $50 a week, they'd have to choose between quality childcare and groceries. Is this how kids end up hungry? Legislatures see an incoming problem, and instead of avoiding it or solving it, they offer a tax cut for the wealthiest and leave other families choosing between affording 2 critical needs. To not fund childcare counts sounds like it's going to mean putting families out of work, into hunger, or both. We live in a time watching you make choices to not fund something that our constituents are telling us could cause hunger and job loss. A $20 million tax giveaway to 11 people, but you can't keep people with childcare at work and eating. I am truly so disappointed in this budget.